All right, so I don't know how this one's going to turn out, but I wanted to talk about a realistic look on survival knives or blades. Um, and this is a topic, you hear a lot of stuff. A knife must be this or a knife must be that, and they have points. They have a lot of justification in saying, it should be full tang or carbon steel or stainless steel or whatever. But realistically, you're not necessarily always going to have that said knife. And when it comes to knives, you basically have three categories, maybe four. You have small, medium, and this isn't a knife, but you have large. And I'm using a tomahawk to, one, I don't have my machete, but two, it emphasizes, what is this? Is a chopper, okay? And your sizes dictate what the knife will do, what the knife's good at, and what task that knife should probably be in. Now, the fourth category is multi-tools. Swiss Army knife, Leatherman. This is an old U.S. knife. It basically has like a Boy Scout knife, blade, can opener, screwdriver, and an awl. So multi-tools. And most multi-tools have a knife blade. Now, the smaller the knife, basically, the better it is at carving and whittling. The larger the knife, up to something like a tomahawk or machete, or hatchet, whatever, is better at chopping. So the smaller the knife, the more fine, detailed work. The larger the knife, or tool, the larger volume of work it can do as far as mass, like process firewood, cut down trees, etc. So, what's a Swiss Army knife blade going to get you? It is going to get you fine, precision carving tasks, whittling. Same with the Leatherman. Same with the Mora clipper here. Now, when you get to something the size of a K-bar or a Condor bush lore or the Imtech 4-inch knife that I did a review on, you start getting into some heft and some weight, and it can chop. K-bar, decent chopper, okay carving. This guy, awesome chopper. Not as good as a hatchet when it comes to splitting wood, but it'll cut down a decent-sized tree. I've cut down trees, cleared trails with trees with 5-inch wide trunks. But can I carve with this? Barely. I can, but I can barely carve with this. I can make a feather stick. I can make a notch, but it's very awkward. So when you're looking at blades, that's what you've got to look at, because I can't carry this thing. I mean, I'm in America. I can, we're fairly free on what we can carry. We can carry guns and stuff like that, but I can't carry this everywhere. It's too big. I can't even carry this Mora clipper everywhere. It's too big. At work and stuff, everyday life, I'm going to trip over it. A Swiss Army knife and a Leatherman? One, they're more than just a knife. They're pliers and screwdrivers and tweezers and stuff. I carry both of those on a daily basis, and I do use both of them in conjunction with each other sometimes. Sometimes I've got to hold a little nut with the pliers and turn the screw with the screwdriver. If I'm in a spot where I don't have access to my toolbox. So that is something you've got to keep in mind in a realistic setting. Can I carry a big survival knife like this? Can I carry a machete? Or in a day-to-day environment, you might get more use out of a Swiss Army knife. Also, there's legal issues. Like guys in the UK, you can't carry a fixed blade knife around London. You might get away with a smaller knife, like a Swiss Army knife or something like that. So being prepared, and also, also what's the most useful. A K-bar may not be a great option in an urban environment where you spend 99.9% of your time a Leatherman may be a better option because one, you've got everyday tools, tools useful for every day, but that is going to help you in a deal where you're maybe taking apart electronics, stripping wire, stuff like that to, fabricate cordage and stuff. So that's something to keep in mind. A big survival knife like this is great in a woodland environment, but it's not necessarily the best choice in an urban environment. So this is just more food for thought. I'm not going into which is best. I'm not going into what brand I like, because I like several different brands, my personal opinion. This is just a variety of options, and you need to pick the best one for your circumstance. And you may have one of these in one kit and something like this, in another kit, or as like an EDC item. I carry Leatherman Wave as an EDC emergency item, and I have a Swiss Army knife for a pocket knife because I do a lot of fine cutting and carving and stuff like that, and as a crafting tool because it's got an awl. I made most of my leather stuff using that knife and the awl, and you can sew with it and stuff, so it gives you more options. I don't carry all of these all the time, but I have a couple of these are actually my daughter's, so I just stuck them in this stump just to show you the variety. And honestly, I've used the Leatherman, my Mora, and this K-bar today on different tasks that I was doing. I used this to build a lean-to. I've used this to carve some feather sticks and make a fire. And I used my Leatherman on just a couple little things. I was rummaging around my pack and I needed to tweak a couple of things and to pull a pot off of a lid off of a hot pot that I boiled some water in. So, I get use out of all of these. And, they're all great options, but you've got to pick what's best for you in your circumstance, in your area, and your environment.